Nothing quite says off-roading like a Jeep Wrangler. The Wrangler is one of the most capable off-road ready SUVs you can buy, and it's been that way for decades. I mean, some of these design cues date back to World War II. Plus, as synonymous with the Jeep name as the vertical grille slats are that it wears, the Wrangler is pretty much what everybody thinks of when you just say Jeep. We're going to take a closer look at the iconic Jeep today, specifically a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon Unlimited. Hi, I'm Travis from Edmunds. We test and review hundreds of trucks and SUVs each year, while CarMax buys, sells, and expertly appraises thousands. We've combined forces to help you make the right decision on your next car, truck, or SUV. Be sure to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any future CarMax videos. And for an in-depth article on the Jeep Wrangler and all of its trim levels, click the link below. Before we get to the fun off-road stuff, let's talk about the Jeep as an SUV. Because even if you're an avid adventure seeker, you're probably spending most of your time on the pavement, like that stuff between adventures, such as grocery shopping and commuting. If you're completely new to the Jeep Wrangler, this 2018 model is the 4th generation of the Wrangler. Jeep uses acronyms to delineate their generations, and this one's called the JL. And it gets a little bit confusing because it was sold alongside the 3rd generation, known as the JK, for the model year of 2018. But anytime after that, and you'll be in the JL, the newest generation. It's kind of like Apple selling the old iPhone and the new iPhone next to each other at the same time. We're talking about the JL here, but there are a few ways to tell the differences between the JL and the JK if they're parked next to each other on the trail. Eagle-eyed shoppers will notice some of the differences between the generations, like different headlights, different grills and taillights, and some changes in exterior sheet metal. The JL is also taller, longer, and wider than before, and so that means it's a little bit more spacious on the inside, but you might not be able to fit in some of the same tight spaces you could with the previous generation model. The Wrangler is available as a 2-door or a 4-door, Jeep calls the Unlimited, and it's either available with a soft top that has a manually folding convertible or a hardtop with a couple of removable panels. Later models even got the option for a cloth, power-retracting roof. The standard engine is a 3.6-liter V6 that carries over from the previous generation. But the V6 isn't the only engine you can get. There's also a turbocharged 4-cylinder, a V6 turbo diesel, a stonkin' big V8, and there's even a plug-in hybrid now called the 4xe. Those last two though, the V8 and the plug-in hybrid, might be a little bit hard to find since they were just introduced in 2021. When it comes to EPA estimates, the optional turbo diesel and the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine both top the charts for the Wrangler. But we like this V6. We like the way it delivers power both on the road and on the trail. One of the benefits of the JL Wrangler getting bigger than its predecessor is there's more room for activities, sort of. Compared to rivals, it is a little bit smaller on the inside, so you'll feel closer to your passengers than you would in a similarly sized SUV. Even in this Rubicon, which is one of the top trim levels, everything feels simple and straightforward. It doesn't feel lavish, but it is well built. It feels like it'll hold up to abuse over time. And it's got lots of big chunky knobs and buttons, which feel good to the touch. For tech, the Wrangler uses Uconnect, which is basically Jeep's software for the infotainment screen. This particular one, the Rubicon, has an 8.4-inch Uconnect screen. There are smaller screens on other trim levels, but they're pretty much the same in terms of the layout, and they're very user-friendly. We also like the crisp graphics on the screen, as well as the quick responses to user inputs. So when you press buttons, things happen fast. You don't have to wait around a lot. And there's also stuff like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so this 8.4-inch screen, it's the one we'd recommend. Something the Wrangler has been missing over the years is high-tech driver aids. Sure, it's gotten more modern as the time has gone on, but stuff like adaptive cruise control, forward collision mitigation, and blind spot monitoring, they're all optional, and on earlier models, they weren't even available. Now, you want to be sure to check your specific desired model year and trim to make sure that it's got the features you want, or if you maybe need to upgrade to get a little bit more. This is our long-term Wrangler at Edmunds. We've driven it all over the place and had a generally good experience with it. It does, however, have a loud cabin and there's lots of wind noise, especially in the convertible. It's kind of hard to keep wind noise out when your vehicle is shaped like a barn. It's got comfortable seats up front with a relatively upright driving position, and you do feel a commanding view of the road from the driver's seat. But there's a poor ride quality, especially compared to unibody rivals. It's got light and vague steering, and it gets frighteningly so when you're towing a trailer. Be aware of that before you get behind the wheel. The base V6 has strong acceleration, even though it's relatively old, but handling is poor, especially with the off-road tires that we've got on this Rubicon, and the truck can lose composure over cracks and bumps. The Rubicon makes massive sacrifices to on-road refinement and comfort, but it does favor off-road performance and capabilities, and there are few trucks that can match it for off-road competence. All right, let's take this thing off-roading now. Check your warranty and extended service plan before off-roading or making any modifications, and be sure to bring the proper gear and check for local restrictions, stuff like OHV permits. Most importantly, have fun and remember to pack it in and pack it out. So the great thing about the Wrangler Off-Road is it's got incredible ground clearance, great approach and departure angles, great breakover angles, and all sorts of extra equipment that you can get to make it more capable off-road. This Rubicon has front and rear locking differentials, and the front differential being locking is rare even amongst SUVs. It's got an electronically disconnectable front stabilizer bar, and Jeep has listened to owners over the years, adding stuff like pre-wired aux switches for extra equipment. So if you want to add off-road lights or a front winch, you've already got the wiring for that. And my favorite part about the off-road capability of this Wrangler is that when you want, you can just air down the tires a little bit and go bombing down a dirt road. Rock rolling's fun, but I love this stuff. You can daily drive this thing. That's the great thing about the Wrangler. Daily drive it and then take it out for great weekend adventures like this. Pros: unrelentingly capable off-road, maintains the rugged Jeep character and increased capability compared to previous models. Cons: steering is slow and feels loose, especially on the Rubicon trim. Poor ride comfort, lots of interior noise, and poor handling abilities. Less cargo space than some conventional crossovers. Mild towing capability for an otherwise highly capable rig. If you're just looking for a top-down beach experience, go with the Sport or the Sport S. But if you want the most rugged off-road experience, the most interior equipment, and the most rugged looks, we recommend the Sahara or the Rubicon. Worthy rivals include the Toyota 4Runner, which is only available with 4 doors and there's no convertible top. There's the Toyota Land Cruiser, which is much nicer but also much more expensive. Then there's less rugged and off-road ready Jeeps like the Cherokee and the Grand Cherokee. And if you want your Wrangler with a bed, you can get that too. They make it. It's called the Gladiator. For more expert used car advice and to see more videos like this, click like and subscribe. And if you want all the details on the Wrangler and its rivals, click the link for the article below.